We're back again. Eagles Giants preview number 2 out of 5 for the week. Super excited. My dog is clearly excited too as well. But today's topic is going to be basically the Eagles and the run game. I'm not really going to talk much Giants. I don't really care about the Giants. Who cares about them? They stink. In the words of Philly 500. So, Carson Wentz, obviously if you've been watching YouTube, you know about everyone's hate, all the Eagles fans' hate of it. Carson Wentz, 4 rushes for 55 yards. He was the leader. Darren Sproles, 10 rushes for 48 yards. And a costly fumble. And then Wendell Smallwood, who is apparently our back, 3 rushes for 4 yards. And then that's it. LeGarrette Blount was nowhere to be found. He's not even on the rushing stat sheet. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm actually really irritated about it. Hang on 1 second so I can kill my dog. Stupid dogs. I want to slice their throat sometimes. You guys would know the struggle too. So, Doug Peterson pretty much said that due to the fact that how the game was being played, we couldn't run the ball. Now, any real head coach, any smart head coach, it was tied almost into the 4th quarter. Why would you pass the ball so many times when you can just run the ball? And I asked myself that when I watched the game. I'm like, Garrett Blount's setting up on the outside. He's not setting up behind Wentz to run the ball. Darren Sproles is getting an awful lot of rushing opportunities. And it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is that LeGarrette Blount is our number 1. I don't care what anyone says. He's our number 1. It baffles me. It does. It baffles me. It does. And I'm more irritated because this week against the Giants, we have a very, very tough defense to go against. Regardless of if Janoris Jenkins is there, okay, how the heck do I want to word this? It was Matthew Stafford's lowest passing game, I believe. The stat that I saw. So even if the Giants O-line and the Giants offense is trash, their defense is still good. They're still a top 5 defense in the league, even with Janoris Jenkins out. So we have to keep running the ball. And if you looked at last week, before Kareem Hunt's breakaway, he only had maybe 5 or 6 rushes for 7 or 8 yards. But Andy Reid was smart and kept pounding the ball. Just kept pounding, even against a good defense and a good D-line like we have. Okay, so he ended up with 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. And it was a 53-yard. I'm reading it right in front of me. So we have to just keep pounding the ball. I don't care who, regardless of who it is. It's kind of hard for Darren Sproles to pound the ball all day long because he is older. He's not our featured back. He's our receiving back. Wendell Smallwood and LeGarrette Blount should have those carries. Personally, if you're not going to use LeGarrette Blount, use Corey Clement, who I think is much more overall better than Wendell Smallwood, even if it was preseason. But I like Corey Clement a lot more than I like Wendell Smallwood, especially after last year with he cost us a fumble to lose a game last year. He's not good on or kick returns and punt returns when we throw him in there. I don't like Wendell Smallwood. I don't think he's going to be on the team next year, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully, with the news out of Philadelphia today that Chance Warmack was going to be the starting left guard this week over Isaac Seumalo. And I feel bad because I liked Isaac a lot coming out of the preseason. He looked really good in the offseason. He looked really good It's just, he's not working out. He's getting absolutely bombarded at that position, which is causing our O-line to look absolutely atrocious when, realistically, we should have one of the best O-lines in the game with Jason Peters and Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks and Jason Kelce and him. And clearly, it's not just on Isaac. It's on Jason Kelce. He's not a true center for our system, okay? He's the type of guy, he's not able to push people back. He's not able to defend and open the hole in the middle for the running back. So he's really good on the sweeps and then to carry people so he can do runs to the left or runs to the right, but he's not good where we need him to be, which is up the middle. What I want to happen is, which I'm a YouTube Eagles fan, so nothing I say matters, is to put Stefan Wisniewski, which I've said countless times, at the position. And put him in there. And then I like Chance Warmack, because as bad as of a preseason he has much more potential at the left guard position than Isaac does. So he's getting first team offensive line reps today, which I love, which I'm super excited about. I like Chance Warmack. I love that we picked him up from the Tennessee Titans. Obviously he didn't play to his potential there, but I loved it. So to have him there, he can push guys over. He can get to the nitty-gritty. He can open up the middle for LeGarrette Blount to go in. Okay? If in a perfect world, in a perfect week against the Giants this week, it would be Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, Stefan Wisniewski, Chance Warmack, and Jason Peters, with LeGarrette Blount lining up behind Carson Wentz. In a perfect scenario, that's what I would want. That's what I'd want Doug Peterson, Frank Reich, and all the offensive line coaches and all the offense coaches to do. Will it happen? Probably not. We won't probably see Stefan Wisniewski unless Jason Kelce goes out. We're going to have Jason Kelce at least until next year. He's going to be here. Okay? The problem with this is that Carson Wentz is throwing the ball too much. I mean, he's thrown how many times already this year? I believe it's... Hang on. I mean, he threw the ball 46 times, okay, and they ran the ball like 13 times. You can't do that. You physically just can't. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And when you throw the ball like that, and when you throw the ball so many times, if Carson Wentz keeps this up, I think I was listening to the 4th and John, whatever podcast or video that they put up. He's on pace for like 690 pass attempts this year, which is outrageous for a sophomore quarterback. Like, that's out of control. I mean, even last year he threw the ball too much, but last year we also didn't have anybody. Last year we were a shitty team. So this year we're a good team, and we're set up to make the playoffs, so we're set up to win the division. And it's not going to work if Carson Wentz gets hurt. I mean, yeah, we have Nick Foles on the back burner, but, I mean, if Carson Wentz is our future, we didn't trade up in the draft for nothing. We didn't trade up all the way to number 2 for nothing, okay? So if you throw the ball so many times, you're going to cause interceptions, which it happens. He throws a lot. I mean, he's thrown a lot of picks in his 2 years, and he's going to get hurt. Why? Carson Wentz is going to get hurt, and it's just going to piss not only me off, but every single Eagles fan that plays the game. He's going to get hurt. Doug Peterson, please run the ball this weekend. Throw Chance Warmack in. Maybe Jason Kelce. We'll see how hard Warmack's going to play, and he'll play a little bit harder, and he'll push guys over. But Chance Warmack is going to help this line immensely, I personally think, over Isaac Seumalo. And don't run Darren Sproles. Use him for when you need him. Use LeGarrette Blount. He, like I said countless times before, he physically runs better as the game goes on. He does. It's not like I'm making this up. It's everything points to it there, and Doug Peterson's just being weird. Okay, maybe Doug Peterson's taking on two. I apologize. Maybe Doug Peterson's taking on too much of a role and being the head coach and doing the play calls. Should the play calling be pushed on to Frank Reich? Absolutely it should. Doug Peterson, for a second-year coach, to only be an offensive coordinator before that, and then before that, a quarterback's coach, it's too much for him, in my personal opinion. Hand it over to Frank Reich. Doug, worry about your own play. Worry about that being the head coach. And just stop talking. I mean, the fact that you talked to, who was it, Marcus Peters or Justin, whoever the hell it was, during the game, and Carson Wentz is confused on what the play is. Just be you, Doug Peterson. Hand the reins over to Frank Reich. Let him do the play calling. He did such a good job in San Diego or Los Angeles or whatever you want to call him for the Chargers, for Phillip Rivers. Hand him over, Doug. You can't just take. It's tough. It's tough being the head coach and calling all the plays. So run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball early. Run the ball late. Just keep pounding the ball, because how can these guys get better if you're not running the ball? Well, and then fans say, well, LeGarrette Blount's a bust and Wendell Smallwood's a bust and all these guys are bust. How can they be bust if you're not even giving them a chance to run the ball? It's sickening. 13 rush attempts. It's horrible. We had that game. We could have won that game, I feel like, if we just kept running in the fourth quarter, especially with LeGarrette Blount. I think we could have beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who are arguably one of the best teams in the league right now and are destined to go to the Super Bowl. That just means that we almost beat one of the best teams in the NFL on Sunday, and we lost because of bullshit. Okay, and look what happened. Sproles runs, and he gets a fumble. He's not used to that kind of workload anymore. He's been done that. He did that. Okay, it's ridiculous. So, on that note, I'm so excited for Sunday. I'm super excited. I just called and reserved my hotel. I'm super, super excited. I can't wait. I got to leave at like 4 o'clock in the morning to drive all the way there. I can't wait to see everyone. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about the Giants wide receivers and the Eagles wide receivers and how they compare and everything. I'm super excited. Hopefully I can get a couple more guys and do a hangout with everyone, but we'll see. But Doug Peterson, run the ball. It's as simple as that.